All right. So with all that said, I wanted to try and provide, some advice on some possible things that you could do that may help, with dealing with the holidays here after a loss. I put this document together. It has 5 items. Like I said, that could possibly help. I mean, take what you will from it. But at the very least, it could possibly be something that you just have in your back pocket, a little bit of knowledge in your back pocket to have going through this holiday season, so that if something comes up, you know, you have a plan, or you at least know some things that you could do. So the first one is to create a continuing bond or a ritual instead of trying to move on. Most people try to be strong and pretend everything is normal. But modern grief research shows that trying to cut emotional ties makes grief even worse. Um, Instead, people heal by maintaining a healthy connection to the person who has passed. And there's some things that you can do to try and build new traditions, around their memory, and to incorporate that into the holidays moving forward. And just a few examples of this would be lighting a candle for them at dinner, um, hang an ornament that represents them on the tree, or even create a new one each year. Have your children create a new one each year in remembrance of them. Play a song that they loved, one of their favorite Christmas songs. Make sure that you play it at some point during the season. Um, or just, share a story about them with someone that you can trust, or and that may be a little harder this first Christmas. I know for me it took years to even be able to look at her picture, or to watch a video, or hear her voice. So that time will come. But if that's something you're able to do, reminisce on old times and talk about those memories with your family or somebody that you trust. Secondly, you can build a grief plan, because unprepared pain definitely hits harder. Holidays trigger grief because people get blindsided by the emotions. A grief plan is a simple, powerful way to reduce the overwhelming emotional experiences that can happen through the holidays. And this can include, um, who can you call if you start to spiral? Do you have someone that you can lean on, in the event that things get a little hairy there through the holidays or at an event? Um, Pick a physical place that you can step away to, if things start to get overwhelming. A simple grounding routine. So, practice breath work and trying to take your mind somewhere else. A walk outside, even that cold weather, can help bring you back. If you start to wander off and lose control of your emotions. Um, so knowing you have a plan keeps grief from feeling like it's controlling you, and that's the most important part of that. Um, Thirdly, let yourself do a half Christmas. One of the most psychologically sound methods is what therapists call modulated engagement. And you don't have to go full on festive, especially this first year. But total isolation is definitely not the way to go. It's only going to make things worse. So you do half. And that might look like going to a family dinner but leaving early. Or, you put up a few decorations instead of going all out this year. Participate in one tradition and skip a few others. Whatever you got to do, because you're just trying to find middle ground where healing can actually happen. Um, it's not all or nothing, it's controlled participation. So, fourthly, anchor yourself with a future focus activity. Grief intensifies because the holidays are all about nostalgia. Your brain loops on memories, which can be crushing for sure. Adding one future focused activity helps redirect the emotional energy. And so, some examples of this would be to plan a trip for next year, start a small personal project in January, write a letter to your future self. And I would recommend writing a letter that's journaling, this first year's experience and the emotions that you felt and were going through, that you can look at next year and possibly see some progress, because it does get a little easier from year to year. It doesn't get better. It just, you become more experienced in dealing with it from year to year. And then maybe you could plant something, a symbol of life continuing, some indoor plant or something that you could get and plant for them in remembrance of them, through this winter season. And this tells your brain that the story doesn't end here. And that's essentially what we're trying to do, is to take control of our brain and our emotions so that they are not in control of us as we go through these holidays. And then lastly, and the most important in my opinion, is to choose one person you can be honest with. No masks. Grief becomes unbearable when you're trying to protect everyone else from your sadness. So one of the strongest predictors of coping is just having one person who you can tell the truth to, who you don't have to be fine all the time around, that understands what you're going through and just lets you deal with those emotions, and that won't try to fix you, because we all have those people, that they care and they want to try and help and they want to try and fix us, but there's really nothing anybody can do. And so it's better to have someone that's not constantly trying to fix the situation, but understands that you just need space and time, and that can just be there just to listen. Just to listen. They don't need to be, giving advice and acting like they have all the answers. They are solely there for you to vent to. And that's very important. And you can call this your one safe person rule as you go through these first holidays here, without someone. And even if you don't talk to them often, knowing that you can changes everything emotionally. And so I'd like to say, if you do not have an individual like that comes to mind, or you just don't feel comfortable, having these type of discussions with people that are in your close circle, because maybe you're worried that they will talk about it with someone else, or whatever it may be, you just don't feel, comfortable. You have to feel absolutely comfortable with this person. And so if you don't have that individual and you need someone like that, please don't be shy. Reach out if you feel that you need to. You can reach out to me. I would be glad to talk with you about it. Like I said, I unfortunately have a lot of experience here with loss, and I've learned a lot of different ways to cope with it over the years. And so um, that's the main reason I started this channel, because I want to help people with things that I have learned through my own life experiences and things that I have been through. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what this whole channel is about. So please don't be shy. If you want to reach out, and anything that you would ever talk to me about will definitely never leave here. It'll stay between you and I, and that'll be it. That's it. But if you're someone who maybe you're beyond that and you just want to talk about it, please leave your stories in the comments. It could potentially help other people. I think people who have experience in this are the ones that we should be listening to about it, not someone who maybe has a degree, but rather people who have been through it themselves. And so you can possibly help someone else out greatly by sharing your story. So please, in the comments, if you feel comfortable, let us know, your story and what you've been through and how you've coped with the holidays after a loss. But like I said, if that's not you and you want to keep it private, just reach out to me privately. I'd be glad to speak with you. So that's really all I got for this one. I am Brad Casper. This is Casper's Corner. Hopefully this has helped you in some way. And if I don't talk to you before Christmas, try to have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is Brad Casper. Casper's out.